Good morning. My name is Sam. I am an alcoholic. I'm also a son of recovery. Let's start out with the Serenity Prayer. Good and gracious God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So I've been reading through the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, and I'm on the last tradition, Tradition 12. Anonymity is the spiritual foundation of all our traditions, ever reminding us to place principles before personalities. The spiritual substance of anonymity is sacrifice. Because AA's 12 traditions repeatedly ask us to give up personal desires for the common good, we realize that the sacrificial spirit, well symbolized by anonymity, is the foundation of them all. It is AA's proved willingness to make these sacrifices that gives people their high confidence in our future. But, in the beginning, anonymity was not born of confidence. It was the child of our early fears. Our first nameless groups of alcoholics were secret societies. New prospects could find us only through a few trusted friends. The bare hint of publicity, even for our work, shocked us. Though ex-drinkers, we still thought we had to hide from public distrust and contempt. When the Big Book appeared in 1939, we called it Alcoholics Anonymous. Its foreword made this revealing statement: "It is important that we remain anonymous because we are too few at present to handle the overwhelming number of personal appeals which may result from this publication. Being mostly business or professional folk, we could not well carry on our occupation in such an event. Between these lines, it is easy to read our fear that large numbers of incoming people might break our anonymity wide open." Excuse me. As the AA groups multiplied, so did anonymity problems. Enthusiastic over the spectacular recovery of a brother alcoholic, we sometimes discussed those intimate and harrowing aspects of his case meant for his sponsor's ear alone. The aggrieved victim would then rightly declare that his trust had been broken. When such stories got into circulation outside of AA, the loss of confidence in our anonymity promise was severe. It frequently turned people from us. Clearly, every AA member's name and story, too, had to be confidential if he wished. This was our first lesson in the practical application of anonymity. With characteristic intemperance, however, some of our newcomers cared not at all for secrecy. They wanted to shout AA from the housetops, and did. Alcoholics barely dry rushed from about bright-eyed, buttonholing anyone who would listen to their stories. Other hurries to place themselves before microphones and cameras. Sometimes they got distressingly drunk and let their groups down with a bang. They had changed from AA members into AA show-offs. This phenomenon of contrast really set us thinking. Squarely before us was a question: how anonymous should an AA member be? Our growth made it plain that we couldn't be a secret society, but it was equally plain that we couldn't be a vaudeville circuit either. The charting of a safe path between these extremes took a long time. As a rule, the average newcomer wanted his family to know immediately what he was trying to do. He also wanted to tell others who had tried to help him, his doctor, his minister, and close friends. As he gained confidence, he felt it right to explain his new way of life to his employer and business associates. When opportunities to be helpful came along, he found he could talk easily about AA to almost anyone. These quiet disclosures helped him to lose his fear of the alcoholic stigma and spread the news of AA's existence in his community. Many a new man and woman came to AA because of such conversations. Though not in the strict letter of anonymity, such communications were well within its spirit. But it became apparent that the word-of-mouth method was too limited. Our work, as such, needed to be publicized. The AA groups would have to reach quickly as many despairing alcoholics they could. Consequently, many groups began to hold meetings which were open to interested friends and the public, so that the average citizen could see for himself just what AA was all about. The response to these meetings was warmly sympathetic. Soon, groups began to receive requests for AA speakers to appear before civic organizations, church groups, and medical societies. Provided anonymity was maintained on these platforms, the reporters present were cautioned against the use of names or pictures. The result was fine. Then came our first few excursions into major publicity, which were breathtaking. Cleveland's Plain Dealer articles about us ran that town's membership from a few into hundreds overnight. The news stories of Mr. Rockefeller's Dinner for Alcoholics Anonymous helped double our total membership in a year's time. Jack Alexander's famous Saturday Evening Post piece made AA a national institution. Such tributes as these brought opportunities for still more recognition. Other newspapers and magazines wanted AA stories, film companies wanted to photograph us, radio and finally television besieged us with requests for appearances. What should we do? As this tide offering top public approval swept in, we realized that it could do us incalculable good or great harm. Everything would depend upon how it was channeled. We simply couldn't afford to take the chance of letting self-appointed members present themselves as messiahs representing AA before the whole public. The promoter instinct in us might be our undoing. If even one publicly got drunk or was lured into using AA's name for his own purposes, the damage might be irreparable. At this attitude, press, radio, films, and television, anonymity, 100% anonymity, was the only possible answer. Here, principles would have to come before personalities without exception. These experiences taught us that anonymity is real humility at work. It is an all-pervading spiritual quality which today keynotes AA life everywhere. Moved by the spirit of anonymity, we try to give up our natural desires for personal distinction as AA members, both among fellow alcoholics and before the general public. As we lay aside these very human aspirations, we believe that each of us takes part in the weaving of a protective mantle which covers our whole society and under which we may grow and work in unity. We are sure that humility expressed by anonymity is the greatest safeguard that Alcoholics Anonymous can ever have. And that is the 12th tradition. Anonymity is, I love how they say, these experiences taught us that anonymity is real humility at work. And I believe that is a very true statement. As they described the newcomer who gradually comes out to his family, his friends, his ministers and doctors, and gradually comes out and talks to people about what's going on. That's great. I mean, that's the way this all works. And my friends and family know, people in my life who are very close to me, know that I welcome them sending people to me. I am not scared about my anonymity anymore, especially with recovery and alcoholics. So my friends and family know, like, they are more than welcome to tell someone to get in touch with me and tell them a little bit about me and why they think that they should get in touch with me. You know, I'm not scared about those things. I'm not scared about it coming up in conversations at dinner or with new friends and stuff. It's just part of my life, and I'm okay with that. But I remember when it was kind of hard and scary to talk about it. So that's just where I'm at. But so anonymity is super important, and where I am okay with my anonymity being out there, I always know that I will hold everybody else's anonymity as close to me as possible, making sure that I protect that for them. So that is the 12 steps and 12 traditions. Thank you for coming on this journey with me. Tomorrow we are going to start a new book. So with that, I'm going to read a prayer. Fear no more. I will not fear those who have hurt me, for you have given me power. I shall sleep without nightmares. You have given me peace. I shall awaken with a clear and rested mind. You have given me clarity. I shall start my day happy, joyous, and free. You have given me my recovery. You have given me a new life. For your grace, I will demonstrate my gratitude in useful and positive action throughout this day. So as always, please leave any comments, questions, or thoughts, and I hope you have a blessed day.